What is going on, everyone? Welcome back again to the Investing Bros channel. We are still out here in Dallas, Texas for the Vid Summit. You guys see that bag right over my shoulder, meeting some really cool people. But got to talk crypto today. Yesterday, and actually for the last couple of days, we have been talking about Bitcoin going lower. And then yesterday it did that. But is the dip over, or do we have further to go? And there's a massive mistake that a lot of crypto holders are doing. And I want to accuse anyone out there on the Investing Bros, but somebody is making a big mistake, and we're going to pay for it later if it does not get fixed. Find out what that is by sticking around for the entire show. We're not going crazy long today. Again, it's going to be a shorter live show, but if you enjoy the channel and if you enjoy our content, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe. But first, we got to roll the intro. What is going on, T-Shroom? It is good, again, for day number 2, being in the same room together.
That's right.
But I think we're going to fix some of those glitches. If you guys notice, I look a little more blue. T-Shroom looks a little more gray. We're running both cameras through his computer. We are, a lot of problems happen in the production business. And the Investing Bros, we dang near find a solution for everything,
That's right.
No matter what.
There's always a solution.
Fist bump over the table. They won't see it, but
they felt it.
They felt
that.
the spirit and the vibe of it. How are you doing this morning, T-Shirt?
Better than I deserved, Tim.
That's
Been
good.
having a lot of fun at Vid Summit. Met some really cool people last night. One of the biggest trucker influencers.
I don't think he's one of. I think he's the biggest one.
Yeah, I think so. Some cool. A lot of folks who make content for like children. Right? Like cartoon stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's a whole business behind that, obviously. So just having a good time, and that was just day 0, right? So now we get into day 1, and Vid Summit has done a good job. There's some things that they could improve on, but
yes, Vid Summit. Listen, if you're watching this, anyone from Vid Summit, take this as constructive criticism. You need a little help with the organization. But again, people here are really cool. Dallas, Texas, shout out to anyone who's watching right now in Dallas, Texas. I like the city of Dallas so far. I have not been here since I was 10 years old. I had a big tournament in speech and debate back when I was 10 years old. That's 20 years ago. That was the last time and the only time I've ever been to Dallas. I'm loving it here. Put a 1 in chat if Tim should move to Dallas. I live currently in Dallas, Georgia. Should I switch states and move to Dallas, Texas? Let me know if you guys think that is a good move.
We have to drill in here, Tim. What was that speech and debate topic? Do you remember?
I was only good at it. I had one speech that year that was good. It was a humorous interpretation. What was I don't even remember the story. It was I was 10 years old. Listen,
an interpretation.
10-year-olds can be kind of funny. And I went. It was a national tournament. I went to nationals. Didn't place. That's all right. I placed as a senior. Let's keep going. Let's get into crypto.
Let's do it.
We didn't come to hear about Tim's speech and debate career. We came here to look at crypto. Let's start off by looking at the bubbles today. A sea of red, but that's to be expected. I mean, everything's crashing. There's one coin that's not crashing. Well, technically there's a couple, but there's one we talked about yesterday. We'll take a look at it today, but helium, ladies and gentlemen. Remember yesterday when you were watching our show and I said, hey guys, check out this smart trail that we might come down to, but then I think helium's going to trade the opposite of Bitcoin, and when Bitcoin goes down, it will go up. Well, I was right. Let's take a look at some big losers here. Rune, to my naked eye, looks like the biggest red dot on here, the biggest bubble. It's pretty equal, though. It's at 12%, but you're going to see a lot of 9%, 10%, Not Coin down 10, Ton Coin down 10, Atom down 8.8, Brett down 9.8. I'm not going to give every single one of these coins their justice of talking about them because there's a lot of coins down 5% or greater. This, a lot probably has to do, and I don't think we're going to get heavily into this, T-Shroom. I don't think we prepared this, but Nvidia, of course, taking a plunge 10% yesterday. But you know what's crazy is it's down 10% since the last opening candle. Render near, a lot of the AI in crypto is actually up the last I checked. Actually, let's take a look at that real quickly on my chart here. You can see here in NVIDIA, if you can see the far right side, above heat teacher's head, negative 9.53 since the candle opened. Let's turn off some Lux Algo stuff here. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. This is, so we actually, talked about a potential bullish position on Nvidia. We didn't get it. We lost that support level. So forget the bull flag, ladies and gentlemen. That is something now we're moving to downside. Down 10%, but then you have render up almost 1%. Not very impressively. Nothing crazy. Nvidia up almost 1%. Again, nothing crazy. But it's something we actually did tell you guys. A lot of people almost act like Nvidia and the AI crypto space have to move together in unison, and that's not necessarily true, and we're seeing that happen right at the moment. We'll have to save Nvidia. Maybe talk more about Nvidia tomorrow, T-Shroom, because I know we're going to kind of get in here, get into some charts, talk about some coins, talk about some news, and get out. Let's start off with Bitcoin TA. And, a lot of people are going to be sitting here saying, all right, we're down again. We're back below 50. We dropped below 56 briefly, wicked down to 55,564. Is that the end? You guys know here on the Investing Bros channel, we've talked heavily about this 55K level, that I thought things would get interesting coming down. I'm going to be very, very real with you. I'm going to update this on where I think is realistic. I think there's a chance 55K gets lost. Let's turn on Luxalgo indicators and kind of look at what we've had going on here. We predicted the rejection a couple of days ago up on the 4-hour smart trail. This red cloud right in here. I told you guys if we want to get bullish, we got to get above this pink block right here. This called a bearish breaker block. That requires a $61,200 price action. Didn't get close to that. Did not. We got rejected on that red cloud. Now we're moving to the downside. And I said, watch out for 55K. There is some support at those levels. There is the first level of take profit. But I'm watching down below. The take profit on the 4-hour chart starts at 54,900. It could go back down as low as 52,000. And when I start to look at longer time frames here, I see a lot of support down at those lower levels. For example, it gets back down as low as a major order block. This is a very bullish support level. But there's nothing on the daily chart really between us and 50,900. That's actually 51,000. It also, let's just pretend the price action did come down and get to that level and then bounce back up. That would simply take us down to a downtrending support level, that green line that we've been in right now. This is called a falling megaphone pattern. They are bullish. They eventually break to the upside. I am not giving up my long-term bullishness here, but with this momentum, this recent momentum, I think there's a chance we drop down below 55K. I think as you look at other things, let's go out to the weekly chart here, check out what Luxalgo is saying. You'll also see on this timeline, why am I kind of bearish on this? Well, this is a very bullish support level, this blue cloud. This is the support smart trail on the weekly chart, but it could get us right there alone down to 52 itself, right? So could we bounce? Could we bounce on the higher end of the cloud here at 55? We could. We absolutely could. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think if you really want to get very meticulous with it, we'll do the last thing here. Guys, I'm doing a little bit of rush TA today. I'm sorry. I'm maybe not being as educational as other videos. I do apologize. If you guys want to learn more, again, this week's weird because we're out of town. But if you are in our VIP trading group, I promise you, you guys will track with us. We'll teach you slowly but surely. So check out the options for that. There's a little bit of a bear flag potential pattern going on right now that could send the price down below 55,000. It depends on what you're looking at. Some people are actually going to get even more aggressive with this and try to go all the way up here maybe to that one, in which case we're talking about potential move down below 54,000. Either way, what I'm not seeing, another reason why I think that the bottom's not in, is I'm not seeing on the 4-hour chart a strong reason to buy from our oscillators. Yes, we're really low. Yes, we have low positions here, but while we had some good bullish divergence back here that gave us a small pump, we're not getting bullish divergence at the moment. We're still seeing a lot of weakness on our charts. That money flow isn't slowing down its negativity. It's barely red, yes, but it's increasing pretty dramatically. Our oscillators continue to fall to the downside, and yes, we have a green reversal dot, but until we get a bullish momentum dot on the 4-hour chart, until we see the money flow positive, the 4-hour chart is not bullish. And then you go up to, like, say, the daily chart and look at the Luxalgo oscillator. It's continuing to build some bearish momentum as well and could have some further room to the downside there. So while I remain long-term bullish and I remain saying, hey, guys, be patient here, and we're going to flip the script on you in a second. We're going to tell you guys, stop selling. I want to make sure people understand before we keep going forward. Do I think that price is going to the downside? Yes, I do. That does not mean you need to sell your Bitcoin you currently have to buy it at a lower level. Why? Because there's a chance, I'm not saying it's a great one, but there's a chance that we already did bottom out. That 55.5 was that last wicket needed before we go back to the upside. Not a high probability there, guys, but I think there's a chance. And unfortunately, there's so many people who think that they can just pinpoint the markets perfectly and they can buy every single bottom and sell every single top. And I'm just here to tell you that's not how it works with your grand portfolio. You're going to get some things wrong. Technical analysis and trading, you got to think about it like this. Anyone who ever has gone to Las Vegas or any type of casino, if you ever go play blackjack, there's a thing that casinos don't like. It's like when players can count cards. Well, if you can count cards or you know someone that can count cards and you ask them, does your strategy work 100% of the time? Absolutely no, it does not. People that count cards can win a lot of money, and they're very good, and casinos hate them. However, they do mess up a hand here or there. Why? Because everything is based off of probability. And the more the game plays, the higher the probability they have. They lose some, but they win some, and they win more than they lose. Technical analysis is a very similar format here. What I'm looking at on the technicals is saying we should go lower. Every now and then, technicals don't get it 100% correct, but they do get it right more often than not, and it increases your probability of being correct in the same way. Rather than just playing blackjack and having luck of the draw, if you know how to count cards and you understand how to read the probabilities of what could be coming next, your winning percentage increases and grand overall scheme of it ends up being profitable. Same thing with trading, same thing with technical analysis. Make sure you're reading the charts for high probabilities. My point here, though, I'm wrapping it up. Do not sell your Bitcoin to buy lower. Continue to hold your current Bitcoin. Find a way to scrape up some dry powder. In another way, go, more work. Go to the neighbor's house and go back to your, youth. Mow their yard. Get a quick $50. Mow their yard. Find a way to get you some extra cash to buy the dip to add to your bags. The number one reason why we might need to come back, T-Shirm, and do some other charts. I do want to look at, I know Cardano and Helium and Aave. We want to look at those charts here in a second. But I feel like because we're on this topic, we got to transition into the big story of the day. The thing that I think people are making the biggest mistake on. Yes, price is about to go down, but stop selling and capitulating your Bitcoin. You want to know why? Because somebody is buying, and that somebody's name is BlackRock. T-Shroom, what is going on over there?
Yes, absolutely. BlackRock becomes the largest institutional Bitcoin holder, as reported here by CoinTurk.com. So you can check out this article for yourself. We felt that the actual words and everything are not all that important. What's important here is the actual image here. So as you can see, this is the amount of Bitcoins that are being held by IBIT. So IBIT, the largest green candle here, and then the second largest is MicroStrategies, MSTR, and then GBTC, Grayscale, Fidelity, Tether, Arkham, and on down the line. So then there's a couple of miners in there that are barely blips on the radar compared to how much MicroStrategies and Bitcoin and BlackRock hold. So this is it's bullish, right? Because what does it indicate? It indicates that smart money, smart institutional money, is buying Bitcoin, the asset, right? And that is bullish, right? What's maybe not so bullish is that it's BlackRock and it's disproportionate and all of this, but that's something for another time.
And I can tell you this. Here's the way to think about it. Retail is freaking out, right? So some people are going to say, I want to make sure we get ahead of this argument. Some people are going to say, Tim, it's not actually BlackRock who's buying. It's their ETF, so it's people buying their ETF. Retail is freaking out right now. Other ETFs are having outflows. Not historical outflows, not anything nuts, but they're outflowing. BlackRock's is the only one that seems to, no matter what happens, every single day is a net positive or just balanced, like no change whatsoever. What that means, if you read between the lines, is, first of all, we know that BlackRock is buying some of their own ETF. That's actually been confirmed at this point. So how much of it is them buying their own ETF? I don't know. Or they're telling their buddies. They're telling their close competitors. They're not convincing retail investors. They're not convincing Grandma Joey. I don't know why Grandma's name is Joey, but we're going with it. They're not convincing Grandma Joey all of a sudden to come over and buy an ETF. Retail's freaking out right now. Yeah. I met a guy yesterday at the Mixer who was trying to convince. He was trying to un-orange pill me, convincing me that Bitcoin is just not tangible. There's just no future in it whatsoever.
Not tangible. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. Wait a second. Touch it. Yeah. He's a fan of the U.S. dollar, I think. Yeah. Anyway, but point is, and one of the things he said was, because we talked about how Bitcoin is near its former all-time high. But he's like, yeah, but I know a lot of people have lost a lot of money. And there's a lot of that old head. If you don't study the markets, you don't understand the moves, all you hear is the story of the person that bought at $61,000 or $69,000 back in November of 2021 and then was forced to capitulate at like 30K when FTX or 20K when FTX collapsed, and they thought the whole world was falling. It doesn't matter that the markets now are back up very, very high. People are convinced that it is a Ponzi scheme, that if they buy, they will lose everything they have. Yeah. And that is why I'm very bullish right now, because he's absolutely right, actually. We won't see retail come in until the top. That is just historically how not just Bitcoin, but every single major market that's existed works, is that people don't buy it until it's doing something phenomenal. And by the time they buy it, that's when the BlackRocks and the other whales of the world dump their portfolios on them. But in this case, we're watching retail capitulate and sell and freak out. And BlackRock saying, that's fine. Give me yours, give me yours, give me yours, give me yours. And by the time the train leaves the station, listen, there's a lot of us diehards in here. I know there's a lot of people just like me and T-Shroom that we're hodling. BlackRock's not taking a single one of my Satoshis. We're going to be okay. But you know what? If I only cared about myself, if T-Shroom only cared about himself, we would not be on camera right now having a YouTube channel. If I only cared about my own wealth, why do I need to tell you guys? In fact, as an influencer, whether I want it or not, I have impact on how people view the markets. Shouldn't I just lie to you every single day to manipulate the markets and then trade the opposite of what I say? That is the case that you see the BlackRocks doing. You see large individuals using their platforms for those purposes. I am not incentivized whatsoever to create content to build my own wealth. I want to see you guys succeed as well. I believe that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is one of the last things this world might see to actually level the playing field, bring balance back into the value sector of the world, meaning all of your hard work and all of your assets and all of your net worth can actually be worth something. I think crypto is one of the last answers, and we still have time. I don't want to doomsday people here. We have time. But that time is fleeting. That time is coming to an end sooner than you would think. And instead of people being patient and just waiting out the normal 4-year cycle here, everybody, that we are right on schedule. I'm not saying the 4-year cycle will exist forever. But at the moment, everything is playing out perfectly for another 4-year cycle. But people can't be patient. People are getting bored. People are getting upset. And they're ditching Bitcoin. And BlackRock is saying, that's okay with us. We'll scoop all that up and we'll make money. And that's a problem. It's a huge mistake. Crypto holders, if you're out there and you are on the verge of capitulating, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do. You're a free human being. Do what you want. But for the love of God, please don't sell. Please stop selling. This is not for my sake even. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm saying this for your sake. Stop selling your Bitcoin.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's bullish, right? And we've met a couple of people who, we're not at a crypto conference here in Dallas, but we've met a couple people who are very bullish on Bitcoin, but that's just kind of their side thing, right? For us, it's not our side thing; it's our main thing. And the U.S. government happens to be getting in on the bullishness for Bitcoin as well. Check out this headline, Tim. U.S. government has flipped BlackRock as the third largest holder of Bitcoin. It's a little bit curious how this is even taking place, but this is as of September 3rd, 2024. Top 13 Bitcoin holders here. Of course, Satoshi up top, and then you've got Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, and then U.S. government, which is a sovereign, and then BlackRock. So Wall Street. I like how it labels it Wall Street. That is what BlackRock is. So that is good. Overall here, Tim, this doesn't really change anything for me. It's bullish, but what do you think?
It is bullish, but the question is it like neutral bullish? Like, okay, cool story. The U.S. government holds a lot of Bitcoin. Or is it super bullish? Let me explain that scenario. Whether you like them or not. If the U.S. government, being currently led by beach-going Joe Biden, is buying Bitcoin at the moment, that's bullish. You can have your personal feelings about it. You can think that it's a fraud or anything. But here's we talked about this yesterday, T-Shroom. No matter who wins president, Bitcoin's going to go to the upside. The real question is, what does the future hold? However, I will say this, and we're not going to get super political. We're really try, especially after losing our channel there for a day. We're learning to back off on some things, right?
That's
Maybe
right.
if you guys want to hear more of our personal views, join our memberships.
Join the Discord.
Yeah, be a YouTube member. Our Wednesday, not today because we're out of town, but normal Wednesdays, we go deep with different things on our members-only streams. My point here, though, is if Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, the current administration, if Democrats as a whole who are perceived to maybe be more anti-crypto or less pro-crypto, if they're buying crypto to hold in the U.S. Treasury, if we have two options of presidents who plan on embracing Bitcoin and buying more of it because they see its future, that's extremely bullish. So I want to make sure people understand here, whether you want to vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, that is completely between you, the voting booth, and God. But you should know, for the sake of your coin, you should be rooting for Kamala Harris to be pro-Bitcoin. You can disagree with her on every other policy, but do not root against her being that way. Because guess what, guys? There's a very real chance she could win. There's a very real chance Donald Trump could win. This is probably going to be one of the closest elections we have seen in a long time. That being said, I want to make sure whoever the president is pro-crypto. And so I'll tell you guys personally, I am hoping and wishing that Kamala Harris is a pro-Bitcoin president because, like it or not, she might become the next U.S. president. And that's something that I want to see my portfolio go to the upside. Yes, capital gains tax, all that other stuff, that I would not love to see. That's beside the point, though. At least if Bitcoin goes up, I'd only pay a lot of taxes if I made a lot of money. You know, there's the one silver lining to the whole thing is I would pay a lot of taxes if I become a multimillionaire, which is the goal.
Well,
the goal here with Bitcoin.
The capital gains tax. No, the capital gains tax was going to go up to 44%. But yeah,
but it's still. I mean, we're
going
to get away from this. It's still only for you have to make a certain amount of money for that.
Well, that's for the unrealized gains tax.
Yeah,
which is different.
All right, well, let's get out of the politics talk because we like our show here on YouTube and we do not want to get banned once again. Let's talk about any other news stories before we take a look at some charts.
Got a couple of other quick headlines here to go over. Just some bullish stuff here. $290 billion dollars, AUM. Zurich Cantonal Bank launches Bitcoin and crypto offerings, so that's an adoption story there. Very, very good. Japan to drop the maximum tax rate on Bitcoin and crypto from 55% to 20%, so that's a good step in the right direction there. This account here, Bitcoin Archive, they're bringing us that one. And then this last one here, second to last one, Mt. Gox, ex-CEO, is launching a new crypto exchange, ElipX. Let me know in the chat, what do you guys think about this? Should this man here be able to launch another a crypto exchange after what happened with Mt. Gox? I see Tim shaking his head. No,
he should not. Even if he's a great guy and brilliant, it's just some things happen in life. Things go wrong. It might not have completely been your fault, but it doesn't matter. You were associated with it. It's time to step away and find a new calling in life here. We don't need another exchange from the founders of Mt. Gox.
That's right. All right. There's so many exchanges already. That doesn't seem like there needs to be so many more. And then Trump-backed DeFi project to be built on Ethereum and Aave. This is a pretty interesting story here. Yeah. There's not a lot of details about this, but we do have the names. Ethereum and Aave stand to benefit potentially from this project that Trump is backing. So if that's something that excites you and gets you really, really interested, jump into the Discord. We'll talk more about it there. Mm-hmm. But here, I mean, the real takeaways are Aave and Ethereum just got some very bullish, a very bullish headline in my opinion, especially Aave. Everybody knows Ethereum, right? And but Aave is a lesser known crypto. It's been around for a long time. It doesn't seem to be going anywhere. In fact, I think it's done pretty well over the last couple of years with getting TVL. However, it's kind of been under the radar, so to speak, for a lot of folks who weren't already in the Aave ecosystem. So getting an association here with a big name like Donald Trump could be quite bullish for the project Aave.
I think it's a good time. Let's do some Aave TA here. This is one of the points we wanted to do. If you've been watching it recently, this is the daily chart I'm looking at. So a lot of positivity here, right? So a lot of bullish momentum. You guys can see a trending blue line. I really should turn this. I'm going to leave it blue. I'm going to make it thicker for everybody just so people can see it a lot better. There we go. It's a former resistance level turned into support. But as a whole, if you go back here to July 5th, It's been up. I mean, this is a different looking chart than the rest of the crypto space. It's very positive. We don't cover Aave a lot. We need to probably talk about it a little bit more. When I zoom out, though, I want to make sure we get kind of a dual kind of look here. What T-Shirt is talking about, it is bullish. I think anytime you make a partnership with a very large entity, and Donald Trump himself is a large entity, that's bullish. For your long-term trajectory. Why is no one like talking about Aave like in bulk? Is because it's not necessarily been one of the most impressive coins since the bear market bottoms. I mean, you guys can see here we had 4 or 5 touches, maybe more, around $50 almost is the bear market bottom. Since that bottom, we only rallied, and I grabbed the wrong tool. Forgive me. I got to grab the one that tells me the percentages. There we go. We rallied from that bottom only 210%. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not. A lot of coins rallied over 300, 400, some 1,000% since their bear market lows. So Aave didn't get the same crazy bullish momentum back in the October and September and early 2021 rallies that a lot of the altcoins did. But the difference between it is instead of being down close to 60, 70% from its highs this year, Aave is wrestling to hit new all-time highs within the last week. So Aave definitely on a short-term bullish trend. Some people might have been sleeping on it because they didn't see a lot of excitement earlier in the year, but it's one to keep our eyes on here, T-Shroom, for a potential upward trajectory. We are hitting here on the daily chart a take profit from a buy signal we had. When did we have this buy signal? It's actually crazy. The buy signal. Oh, right here. Okay. It's kind of blending in with my order block right here. So we had a buy signal flashback here on August 16th. We hit the top range of that. If we checked out our oscillators, you will see we had a nice sell order at the top with our red reversals, bearish momentum, and negative money flow. How far down could we fall? It's not abnormal for price action to fall back down to the smart trail or an order block on that same time frame. So I would not be surprised here, T-Shroom, especially if we see Bitcoin continue to go lower. Even though Aave's been trading opposite, we're seeing a coin suggesting it's overbought at the moment. Probably needs a cool off back to slightly below $100. Let's talk about $96, $95. It's an interesting zone, in my personal opinion, for Aave, so keep an eye on that one. Helium, we talked about this one yesterday on the 4-hour chart, everybody. I told you guys, do not be surprised to see it fall back to the 4-hour blue smart trail where we had an order block as well. It did just that, and then I said, watch as Bitcoin falls, Helium go to the upside. It's been trading the opposite here recently. It's not overextended. We have movement to the upside right now we easily could make. It is not like Aave that's a little overbought at the moment. Probably needs to cool off. It has room to go the upside on the 4-hour. What about the daily chart? The daily chart actually is hitting a take profit on the daily, but could go a little higher. Yeah, the difference here, look at our money flow. The money flow is actually positive on Helium, unlike Aave that money flow is coming back down. So not the same coin, not following the exact same path. We had a nice little, didn't want to pull down, had our nice pullback, touched our support here on Helium, and now I think we can make a big move back up above $8 like we predicted yesterday. I think that is in the cards for Helium. Last one here. For all of our Cardano lovers out here, Cardano still going down. We projected it's not going to be ready to go just yet. In fact, I think there's a good chance we drop below 30 cents once again. But I didn't even want to talk about the charts that much. The charts, that's what you need to know. Cardano probably will still drop below 30 cents, come back down, touch support around 29 cents. Go off my screen here, T-Shroom. I saw a tweet earlier, and I should have grabbed it to prep for the show, but, it's a weird operation here. So we missed that one.
A lot going on.
Right, but the tweet had something to the effect of like, with this newest update to Cardano and the complete decentralized governance, unlike anything we see anywhere else in the crypto space, at this point, it's pretty awesome. If the SEC or the DOJ or the CFTC or any entity in any country wanted to go after and subpoena or prosecute or do anything to Cardano, they would have to subpoena every single person worldwide that owns the token. That is what complete and true decentralization looks like. That's not the case for the Ethereums and the Solanas and the Chainlinks and the AVAXs. And I'm not saying those aren't great projects and you'll lose money. You will make a lot of money there. My point is, this was an added layer of security for anyone who actually cares about freedom and decentralization. It's hard to make an argument that there's any coin out there better than Cardano to house the true, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but the true believers in decentralization, the radicals, the people who just, finger to the man, F the government, I'm going to do this myself. their home is Cardano. And they're not going to make a lot of money at the moment because Cardano's down in price. I think it's going to have a decent little bull market. I think there's a bright future for it.
Yeah.
But price go up, price go down, it'll follow the fundamentals. And fundamentally, what this kind of stuff does is everyone who cares about true decentralization will build their platforms on Cardano.
Right.
Yeah, Ethereum and Solana are easier at this point. No argument there. But people who actually care about having decentralized authority, who are tired of the centralized entities controlling everything, they'll weather the storm, they'll get the right coders, and they will build their platforms on Cardano, where true, secure decentralization is taking a step forward each and every single day. So that's a big win for Cardano holders, not in price short term, but again, I say this a lot, price is downstream of fundamentals. And the fundamentals on Cardano continue to get more and more impressive each and every single day and week and month.
So this is a good lead into our next story. We're wrapping up pretty quick here after this. So some companies have, humble beginnings, right? And they set off to do something, with a big vision, sometimes not with a big vision. Sometimes they're just trying to create GPUs for gamers, right? In the case of Cardano, right now it's got a big vision, but it's kind of been lost, forgotten by a lot of crypto investors. That could change, right? Because we saw with this chip manufacturer here, Nvidia, started off with just they wanted to make gamers smile, right? They wanted to make great graphics cards. Well, now they've become so big, in fact, that things have changed. Antitrust officials are concerned that Nvidia is making it harder to switch to other suppliers and penalizes buyers that don't exclusively use its artificial intelligence chips. So things have changed for the gaming chip manufacturer Nvidia, a company that kind of steers a lot of the stock market today in this hyper AI climate. That's a big narrative. Tim, could we perhaps take a look at Nvidia's chart and just kind of see what we can pull out? I know that there was a big correction to the downside as a result of this antitrust headline. For those of you who don't know, antitrust is when the government, in this case, it'd be the United States. I think pretty sure it's the DOJ, Department of Justice, is bringing a case against Nvidia, and they're going to say, hey, you guys are a monopoly, or you're hurting customers and clients, and we're going to have to take action. What that action is unknown, and uncertainty and unknowns are bad for investors, and investors like to get out. So let's see how aggressively those investors have gotten out of Nvidia.
Yeah, so you're looking here at Nvidia chart. There was a potential chance at a bull flag that has been destroyed here. We're moving to the downside. Short-term support, though. We are hitting the stop loss on the long after hitting the take profit. So if you had used Luxolga to long this, you would have been out of your trade by now. But we're hitting the smart trail right here. That's a major level of support. If that gets lost, T-Shroom, I think that coming down here towards $88, almost $89, where we have a very strong order block in play, is in the cards. If you go to the weekly chart, you'll also see the smart trail on the weekly chart in that same range, slightly trading the downside, but around $90 give or take. So there's support between where we are right now and all the way down there towards $90 that are very interesting. Similar to Bitcoin, there's signs that the bulls could come back at some point. This oscillator is back down to low levels that usually bounce. We have a green reversal. The money flow, it's not aggressively negative, but it still is negative. Until that flows positively, I would say, don't necessarily enter any new longs on Nvidia. Weekly chart, let's take a look at what its oscillator is saying. Big sell order back in here. We had the reversals. We had the bearish momentum. We had bearish divergence, negative money flow here. It's not abnormal for it to pull back to its smart trail after something like that. But to be fair, I think it did. It hit this. Yeah, it did. It pulled back and hit the smart trail support line, bounced back up. So it's one of those things. The weekly chart could be come back down to these levels again, absolutely. But to be fair, we did pull back the levels we needed to. I would be surprised if we do go below $90. I think that we're going to find support on that $90 range again. Could have a double bottom scenario there. Nvidia is still a very strong company. Yes, there's some FUD articles kind of ruminating, but until lose $90, that's my line in the sand. Sure. If we lose $90 instead of new local low, all right, let's revisit the conversation of Nvidia having some problems. But at the moment, there's still a lot of reasons to be bullish. There's still a lot of reasons from a power perspective on the charts that we have some strong support. And yes, are we extremely high? Absolutely. But it's a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. In bull markets, things tend to live in the overbought category. They have small little cool-offs just enough to get the ball rolling again so that whales can buy the dip, and then boom, it takes back off up into the right. Based off what Nvidia is doing and where our world is going, it's another fundamental thing. Price is downstream of fundamentals, right? Mm-hmm. Our world is going more and more and more in the direction of AI. It's going more and more in the world of right now with all that uncertainty with China and Taiwan about chip manufacturing. Yeah. We need to get chip manufacturing going somewhere else other than Taiwan. Hello, Nvidia, you are boys? I think so. So with all that said, fundamentally, Nvidia is just getting going. This is a golden opportunity to buy a dip before it takes off again.
I completely agree. I think from an investor standpoint, you buy this dip. Maybe not with all of your dry powder, right? But I'm certainly looking at Nvidia. If we get back to $90 per share on Nvidia, I will be licking my chops and making some buy purchases for Nvidia. With that said, there were some good points. Well, we're wrapping up, but there's some good points being made in the chat about the political implications. Why would the current administration bring antitrust? Because certainly they could pause these types of charges being brought against Nvidia, a super popular company on Wall Street. Perhaps they're trying to appear as though they're tough on corporations, Tim. Perhaps that's kind of the move here from the DOJ. I don't know.
You know, I'll wrap this thought up with some words of our new friend, the largest trucking influencer in the world. What was his name?
Well, Mother Trucker.
Well, Mother Trucker, but what was his actual
name?
Andy. So shout out to Andy if Andy's watching, or if I would love to have Andy come on the channel and talk. Follow the money. It really is that simple. It was a great reminder. We all knew this, but it's a great reminder to hear it again. If you're ever wondering what government entities are doing, where the power struggle is happening, follow the money.
Yeah.
At this point, I think this is a golden. What's happening here is let's create a convenient story to lower the price on the hottest stock in the world right now, the hottest company in the world, rivaling to become the most powerful company in the world. Let's cool it off so we can buy the dip, and then, everything's all right. That's how governments operate, people. Yeah. They have to make their donors happy. They have to do all this. This is not something I'm necessarily afraid about at the moment. I think there's a very real chance this is simply just a buy the dip opportunity for whales and their friends.
I think either any way you slice this, it's still bullish for Nvidia long term. Nothing's going to happen to Nvidia.
Yeah.
So.
Really quickly, T-Shim, can you pull up the Blofin link? Now, I want to make sure people understand what's happening here. There's a giveaway happening in the month of September, but it's a challenge. Oh, got my feedback on that. There we go. If you are trading currently with Blofin already with our account, that's completely fine. Make sure to click on the link, though, and register. If you're not trading and you want a chance to win $8,000 USDT or cash, I mean, I call it cash at this point. I feel like I have more money in stable coins than I have in cash at the moment. Got to start trading this month if the Bros community in this link trades $60 million worth of volume, which is not as hard as weird it sounds. If you're trading on Blofin and using leverage, you can get there a lot faster than you can. But if our community hits $60 million in volume, one lucky winner will win $8,000, not trading bonus, not play money, USDT, or in other words, cash. But we got to get there. Every single time you trade $10,000 worth of volume, sorry, not $10,000, $10,000 of volume, you get entered another entry into the winnings. Help us out. There's a couple people just crushing it right now over on our Discord, but they can't do it alone. Go sign up right now. Start trading with Blofin. If you're currently trading Blofin, click on that link. Get registered. You might just win that $8,000 cash. It's going to say something about a Mac computer. We talked to our rep. It's equivalently, they're giving you the cash equivalents of this computer, and that computer is worth $8,000. So you guys need to go sign up right now. Click on that link, register. We will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. You guys have a great day. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, get the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better than cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.
Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros. Investing bros.